think there's only three things that are relevant right now. And here are the three things. The halving is coming with 100% certainty. And as far as I can see, most of the selling of Bitcoin in the market is the Bitcoin miners that have to sell in order to pay their electricity bills and pay their debt expenses and their operating expenses. So that amount of selling pressure is going to be cut in half in a few months. So we know that's coming. And then we know there's a spot Bitcoin ETF coming. And when that comes, we plug into Wall Street and the entire banking system. And then finally, we know that fair value accounting is coming. And when that happens, the objective will go away. And now you're going to introduce this as a conversation into hundreds of boardrooms. They will not move in a week. They move quarterly, but over the course of 12 quarters, you'll start to see company after company looking at this, and you'll start to see a reallocation of assets.
Boom. Reallocation of assets. Yes, absolutely. Welcome back, folks. And man, do we have a good one for you tonight. 2024 is becoming the year that is just full of surprises. Now, typically you'd see me here with Brawnz here tonight, but he's having some technical difficulties. He's going to try and get back on, and hopefully we can go ahead and get him integrated back into the matrix. But until that time comes, we're going to go ahead and get started. But of course, before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Every little bit helps, folks, and we certainly do appreciate that. Now, tonight we'll be getting into the Bitcoin charts as per the norm. And as of late, it's kind of been going a little bit sideways, but probably sound like a broken record on this one. But we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on some of the indicators and see where it is headed, or where we think it is. And of course, anything we say here is never financial advice here, folks. We'll also be getting into the Coinbase shares. They're surging after market hours right now, even as we speak. So that is hot off the presses. We'll be looking at that and to some of the reasons as to the why. And we'll be getting into, well, I guess maybe some of the tweets that are going on out there. Now, we were hoping to get into some of the evergreen content like we do, but I may save that for next time. So what do you say, folks? Why don't we jump right into this? Let me go ahead and pull up a chart here, and let's see what's going on. So taking a look at this here, looks like we've been pretty much going sideways for the last 24 hours or so. Now, what we're taking a look at here, of course, is Bitcoin, and these are 4-hour candles, and we're in that upper channel there. Now, I think that the thing that we really want to pay attention to here, folks, we kind of spoke to this morning during our brief touch point. We're going to want to go ahead and be mindful of this 51.500 level, because if we dip back down below it and close 4-hour, we could potentially see this continue to break down. Now, looks like it did kind of go below that mark, well, roughly around, I don't know, a few hours back. And that candle finished right above it. So wasn't a confirmation. And then the current 4-hour is where we're at right now. And it is riding above that line. So look for the close, wait for the confirmation, and then, I don't know, plan accordingly. But as you guys know, I am always long on Bitcoin. So just one of those things. Of course, we always want to pay attention to our investments. But if you're long on Bitcoin, you're DCAing into Bitcoin, none of this activity really truly matters, because you're in it for the long run. So something to be mindful of, though, if you are trading on the daily. Now, the RSI moving average is running roughly right at the overbought mark, and the RSIs did dip into normal trading territory. So that's positive news. It means that we're starting to consolidate, and it could potentially prove to be beneficial in the long run, and then we see a breakout as opposed to a breakdown. Now, if I was a betting man, which I am truly not, I would say that we see consolidation here, potentially going into the weekend, and then a potential uptick I would love to see a breakout tomorrow and before we get into the weekend, but really that's anyone's guess. We'll have to see how the markets overall, traditional markets do, because as we know, anything in the traditional market space reflects here in the crypto space. Now, talking about traditional markets, we got some news here for Coinbase. So let's take a look at that here. This is brought to you by CoinDesk. No affiliation, folks. But they just actually put this out not too long ago, um, roughly about 2 hours, 3 hours ago. Coinbase shares surge after it crushes Wall Street expectations. Now, um, they're saying here that this is due to the previous quarter as the crypto market soared. And of course, that's Lex Luthor there. Well, is that Lex Luthor? No, I'm just kidding. That's CEO Brian Armstrong, Coinbase, and he's been obviously been in the space for some time, and he's of course big news here in the United States because we don't really have a lot of the options the rest of the world have. Coinbase is one of those solid options that are heavily scrutinized from a regulatory standpoint, and they're really truly standing the test of time. But says here that we're very pleased to announce the results. This is Vice President of Investor Relations. Operational rigor that we had set forth earlier in the year really paid off over the course of 2023. Yeah, I'm sure the spike in Bitcoin had nothing to do with that. It was just the operational rigor that they had set forth. So I don't know, folks. Sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me, but I think that Bitcoin taking off and being strong throughout 2023 had something to do with it. So take a look here. Let me go ahead and pull up the chart for Coinbase. Coinbase itself looks like it's currently riding at 14%. That's 14% after hours. And of course, in traditional markets, man, that's huge. So we'll have to pay attention to this and see if it can maintain as we get into the morning hours. And of course, when the Asian markets start to come online, which isn't too far off from where we're now. So it's kind of where we are with Coinbase and 15% here. And we'll have to, again, keep an eye on that. Now, Brawnz, welcome back.
Thank you.
You feeling good? Did what you do? Jump on that hamster wheel, get the
That's right, man. Just cranking it.
man,
Cranking and
man.
spanking it.
Cranking it. Wait now. Is that what brought it down in the first place? You got to
That's
stop
right.
spanking it. You're supposed to.
Cranky.
Well, all right. I was about ready to just go right into the charts here. We were talking about Coinbase and talking about good old Lex Luthor who owns Coinbase. But yeah, they're having a very good year. They're saying it was due to operational rigor and had nothing to do. Well, they didn't say it had nothing to do, but they never give any homage to the granddaddy of them all, Bitcoin, having a successful 2023. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it just everything is booming. The whole crypto market is booming right now. So it just makes sense that Coinbase's stock is soaring as well. But the question is this all going to be? How long is this going to be sustainable?
Mm-hmm.
And that's my concern. I'm loving it. I'm just waiting for this retracement.
Yeah. I think we're all thinking that at some point, at least those that are paying attention to the TA, is saying, well, everything's running real hot and a retracement is necessary. Now, I'll go ahead and pull that chart back up here because we were talking about that here. I think now this is the 4 hour once again, guys. And it really depends, I think, how long we consolidate. Now, if you take a look here, we were running hot. This was back in January, the end of January. And it pretty much went sideways for call it a week plus, week and a half. Because it went sideways, it brought those technicals down, right? Even though it was going sideways, RSI started to drop, moving averages started to kind of maintain even levels, right? Before we had an uptick. And as you can see, we're starting to consolidate here in this range. And the longer we consolidate in this range, the more we start to see these RSI levels and moving averages start to drop. So what would be best for us is rather than a decline, would be a cooling off period. And we're headed into the weekend. So it's possible this continues to ride sideways for the next 3 to 4 days.
And it could be
What do you
going
think?
up. Something tells me it's going to go up some more.
Tomorrow, what do you think?
Yeah, tomorrow, the weekend. It's just like with last weekend, it was going up. But yeah, we're kind of due for a cool off, right? I do see the moving average is starting to trend down, but there's just a lot of bullish, a lot of FOMO is starting to activate. It's going to be very interesting to see. The GBTC, their sell off is starting to slow down. I mean, they're still doing it, but it's just more. It's more trickling. It's not as much as before, and then you'll see the other ETFs they're steadily rising. Like I believe that like BlackRock is steadily accumulating.
Well, let's talk about that. You had brought up a chart earlier. It was a tweet that someone had put out. Why don't you bring that up?
Yeah, by Thomas Farrer. He tweeted out, "We're witnessing a total acceleration of BTC ETF inflows. First 20 days of trading, 42K BTC inflows. Last 4 days, 43K BTC inflows."
There it is. Yeah.
The mass is coming.
Yeah, indicating it's exponential here, folks. I think that's kind of what good old Thomas is talking about. First 20 days, roughly around 40K, and then the last 4 were the same as the last 20. So it's like, I think that, or the previous 20, and that's a lot. I mean, this is what he's talking about. He's talking about this huge upswing in inflows. Now, whether or not that's sustainable, who knows? Certainly, they have the money to get to keep that going. It's just whether or not they want to continue to invest in the space. It all depends on the normies and the retail traders that want to get in. And they're saying that they're seeing a lot of interest in it. But of course, time will tell. And a lot of these companies, a lot of these investment firms are publicly traded. So we're going to have some really awesome data to take a look at when they start to talk about Q2 results, the Q2 results for Q1, right?
Nice.
So we'll see how it all plays out. Taking a look at another chart here for the, staying on the ETF flows here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. These folks have been making a big splash in the X/Twitter space. And this is HODL 15 Capital. What's interesting about these folks is last week, Sailor himself had started to follow those folks. So I think that says something. He's definitely got them on the radar. Their data is certainly clean. And you can pull a lot of this data, just so you guys know, from CoinGlass. It's just that what they're doing is they're making it easily digestible and making it in a way that makes sense so that you can read it. Now, the first, well, call it all but the bottom, are all inflows from the top ETFs. And what you're seeing here is overall, BlackRock themselves alone is over 109 as of yesterday, 109,609 Bitcoins. So their valuation is currently at 5.6 billion. Round up 5.7, right? And you have few that are really not far behind, 4.2 billion, 1.2 billion, 1 billion, right? Now, of course, we got Grayscale at the bottom here. They've been selling off. Now, their sell-off has been roughly about 23.7 billion. Now, you take a look here at this last column. You add up all the totals minus Grayscale here at the bottom. Grand total of 92,119 Bitcoin have been purchased since the inception back on January 9th of this year. So, what do you think here, Brawnz?
I feel like, man, I'm feeling that scarcity, which leads into that FOMO. It's like, okay, where else can the retailers get them some Bitcoin? I do feel like, and then with the halving coming in April, it's like the moon shot to the moon is inevitable, really.
Boom.
So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, in the coming months with the elections happening over here in the United States. Yeah, so it's going to be really good if FOMO is setting in and face melting is going to be coming.
Face melting. Now, talk about face melting and talking about running real hot. And we were kind of talking about this morning, and I apologize. My morning updates, folks, are right between me just chugging a cup of coffee and trying to get out the door for work. So we were talking this morning about the greed and fear index. So this is one of those things you want to pay attention to. And if you guys are not taking a look at all of the data that coinglass.com has to offer, you're doing yourself a disservice. You got to check these folks out. You do not need to sign up. You can see I'm currently not logged in the upper right-hand corner there. One of those things that you probably see in Twitter is crypto fear and greed, and they're probably wondering where they're getting the data from. They're most likely getting it from here. And of course, you can take a look at historical data, but current state for crypto fear and greed is 72. Now, that gets us in the greed area. And if you take a look, 20% of the time, we're staying in this space, the greed space. What you need to be mindful of is when we start to get into this extreme greed space. And usually when you see that we are in this extreme greed space, that's when you have to start to consider getting out and going on the sidelines. That's assuming that you're not DCAing in. If you're a daily trader, this is one of those times you go into extreme greed. You really want to consider going on the sidelines because it's going to take a turn for the worse. But thoughts on this here, Brawnz?
Yeah, not financial advice. Yeah, definitely. That does make sense. Yeah, once you start to get into that extreme greed. So on the greed, it's been going on for how many days? About.
Let's take a look. Let's see if this even. I feel like we did go neutral, right? We went neutral back here, on the 22nd. But you can see it upticks pretty good, real quick. So by the 31st, we were in the greed territory, and then of course this thing continues to increase.
Yeah.
Right. So let me see if we could go ahead and just get this so it's a little bit closer on the timeline. And you'll see the dip here on the 22nd, or it's called 23rd, which appears to be the lowest point. And this continues to just keep on rising. So it's one of those things you really want to pay attention to.
If it hits to the extreme greed range, like immediately, or like at what part would you really heavily consider of on the sidelines?
Well,
at 84, 90.
I mean, take a look here. When we hit back in 2020, and I remember these days. I do. I remember November 2021. Everyone's rich. Everyone is like, we're making buco bucks.
Yeah.
And if you recall, as we went into December, it started to dip, and you can see the dip starting to occur. This is almost immediately following, right? And when I say immediately following, right, this was November 8th. We didn't start to see it. It started to dip maybe about a week later, and then it trailed off big.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So
And of course, this is the price action right here in blue. So, I think when you get that high, just understand where you're at and understand that you can't stay in this space for too long. Bitcoin is not the crypto space is not the first to use this type of index. They've been using fear and greed index in traditional markets well before the crypto space. They've just translated it into the crypto space. Because it certainly makes sense that you have to have some kind of mechanism to understand the emotional status of the space.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good indicator.
Good indicator, one of many, right? So we take a look here. We got just go through it all. It's awesome. Now, there's some premium options, of course, but just one of those things you want to pay attention to. Another one of those things I like to take a look here is the heat map. And as you can see here, this is the current price action running roughly around 52. And these are all the longs. And these are the liquidation points. So if it dips down to call it 51 even, all these folks will get liquidated. And you're talking, take a look and just highlight some of these. Talking about a few $100 million worth of liquidation. So you have all this liquidation here at the bottom, not a whole heck of a lot in the near upper levels. So realistically, what happens with money markets, money makers, is they follow the liquidation. So this is kind of an indicator where if there was no ETF going on right now, no ETF purchasing, this would have me nervous, because it would just make sense. The market just dips down, consumes, makes a cool half $500 million, and then dips back up. So another indicator you want to pay attention to.
Heat map, liquidation heat map.
So, Brawnz, what do you think? You want to get into this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Get into
Oh
man.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go into a little bit of evergreen here, folks. We like to do this because it's fun. And we think that kind of integrating the evergreen into the whole crypto space it's just a good way to get new folks in and, have a little bit of fun along the way. Now, Brawnz and I decided we were going to go ahead and do the most deadliest animals on Earth. And let me pull this up here.
Like that.
Yeah. Now, typically what we do is we talk about these, right, for the big Thursday podcast for us. And by the way, Brawnz, this is number 50. This is number 50
Oh, man.
for us. This is a big one. I feel like we need some champagne.
Yeah.
Well, maybe for 100. Maybe for 100. Yeah. Cake. Man,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking shots, but okay, we'll do cake too. But we basically on Mondays we're kind of getting together, we're coming up with ideas, trying to throw it together, get it ready for you folks, and we came up with the world's most deadliest animals. And Brawnz didn't know that this was going to be a trivia. Oh man. Now, we agreed before the podcast because I sprung it on him just before he dipped out. I just figured he was just scared. we agreed that if Brawnz gets 70% of these, so he's got to get at least 7 right, then he wins. If he gets 4 or more wrong, well, then he loses. And what was the bet that we bet on here?
I'm supposed to eat a chip.
A chip, not a chip, the chip. Right. It's the 1 chip challenge. So if Brawnz successfully gets 7 or more right, then I will eat the 1 chip challenge next time. However, if Brawnz gets 4 or more wrong, well, yes, live.
Man, I'm feeling the pressure.
Oh,
Right.
man. So here's the deal. Don't you cheat on me, brother. No Googling. Oh, man.
No, I won't.
No, I trust you. Of course I do. I trust you with my life. Well, maybe my car. How's that? I trust you with my car.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. We agree to those terms there, Brawnz.
Agreed. Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. So, deadliest animal number 1. Bears. So, although they're clumsy in appearance, bears may move surprisingly fast, even though their dense cover would simply just impede a human or a horse. So, let's see how fast these things move. Let's go ahead and chase it. That's a smart move. Yeah. So, approximately, how many do you think recorded globally how many have been killed by a bear yearly?
Yearly, on average.
What do you think? Less than 20? 100? 300?
I'll go for B, 100
B.
globally.
Even though there are over nearly 1 million black bears in North America, only less than 1 person dies on average.
But it's America, though. We're talking about globally.
It was globally. This is a global count. Listen, and this is why, folks. You know what? I'll wait to the end of the show for my spiel, because sometimes, oh shoot, I'm just gonna go for it. Sometimes what you think is true, you need to make sure you're doing all your own research. All right, that's 1 for. Well, that's 1 wrong. That's 1 wrong. Not off to a good start. Not off to a good start. All right,
Got this.
here we go. Deadliest animal number 2, crocodiles. Now, crocodiles are a group, are quite deadly, but they do not generally set out to hunt humans, nor do they don't really kill well, what are they saying here? They just don't kill for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose that makes
How many
sense.
people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, let's take a look at
Globally
this.
again.
Yeah.
The only crocodile in South Africa that I can sit on his back talking.
Yeah, because this is smart.
So it's
Let's go ahead and
got
sit on
60
a crocodile
centimeter
called
bite
Hannibal.
here. He's got a 65 centimeter.
Whoa. His friend.
Whoa! Oh,
Oh.
oh yeah. Yeah, going
I'm like,
right.
I can't.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's
Let's one of the deadliest animals in the world, and I'm gonna sit on its back. Oh, by the way, the name's Hannibal.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. So, Brawnz,
man.
approximately how many people are recorded globally to have been killed by
Recorded.
a crocodile?
I'll go with A.
Less than 50. They kill around 1,000 a year. That's yeah. I mean, now to be fair,
Hey, man.
you're probably wondering where Florida, Alabama, Louisiana. I'll agree
Africa.
with all that. Now, yeah, Africa is definitely one of those areas down by the Nile.
Yeah.
But realistically, yeah, there's globally over 1,000 people a year die from these things, and I think most of the time it's because they don't see them. These things
That's
camouflage very well just below the surface of the
That-
water.
that's right. I think there's over here in Houston, Brazos Bend, there's a bunch of crocodiles. But yeah, some of them they look like logs.
They look like logs. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some videos where if you use a specific type of lens, like a UV protectant lens, you see them floating, but you take the lens off and
They're not there.
you don't see
They're
anything.
invisible. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
1,000 a year there, Brawnz.
There was one time at Brazos Bend, I was tempted to I had a BMX bike and I was tempted to hop over it, but I don't want to end up like that dude.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and do an ollie over the thing.
Yeah.
That's one sure way to lose a toe, or maybe more. Maybe all that's left of you is a toe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Crocs. All right, here we go. Number 3. Hippos. Hippos are deadly land animals. Now, I just assumed that these things were aquatic. Now, they, of course, hang out in water a lot. Now, they're very aggressive and territorial and have a habit of charging boats, which, of course, capsizes them because they're so damn big. Take a look at this thing. And it's running on land. It's got ground underneath it. It's like the water's not even there. It just moves so quickly. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's the type of boat ride I want to take. I don't know. Rather go to Disneyland, but that's just me.
Man, yeah, hippos are crazy. Yeah, they're ferocious. I mean, like how the media, they're like all cute and like kind of like an elephant. I mean, elephants are pretty dangerous too.
Well, and hungry hippos, sure.
Yeah.
How many would you say? How many folks are dying yearly on this globally?
Dang, these numbers, man. I'm gonna have to really slow down here.
Less than 1,000. Don't you re-Googling it? Don't
Yeah,
ask
I'm
me.
not. I'm
Come
not.
on
I'm
now.
looking at it.
Yeah, I know. Look at Google. You know what? I think we need a timer.
I'm gonna
give
go
you-
for B. I keep looking at B.
B. All right, B. Let's see what it is. 500. You got that right. Got it right. Hippos cause an estimated 500 deaths annually.
Wow. Yeah,
So-
that's still a big number.
It's a big number. It certainly is.
These
But
tourists.
all right. Here we go. Deadliest animal number 4, lions. Lions are the predators and will view humans as prey, especially lions not raised in captivity. Understanding that hunting is instinctual for these things, and the best way to avoid lions is, well, to avoid death. Just stay out of the damn way. Here we go. That's a hunter. This guy was a elk hunter.
Get back.
And this is a mountain lion. Understand that this statement here encompasses all lions.
Woo! Damn.
He didn't shoot him. And he's not. He's
Not phase.
yeah. I know.
That's
it.
a lioness.
There you go. Walk away. Do the smart thing. You get any closer to this guy, he's going to shoot you.
Man.
All right. Bronze. 10 seconds.
I'm thinking about C or D. I'm gonna go with D because there's like people like him, these hunters. There's a lot of lions.
D it is. Let's see. Here we go. About 250 humans per year.
Damn. Okay.
So, all right, Bronze. We're going to keep going here. You got another opportunity It's 3-1. All right.
3-2.
Doing good, though. Doing good. You got one right.
I got 10, right? I mean, these are 20 or 10
Yeah.
questions. Man, that's right.
No, yeah, we got 10. You got 10 questions. Here we go. Deadliest animal number 5. Elephants. Or is it elephants in Lord of the Rings? Groups of elephants been known to raid farms and villages and will gore or trample humans that get in the way. Let's take a look at this one. Now,
आजकल ट्विटर पे एक वीडियो काफी वायरल हो रहा है जिसमें एक औरत हाथी को केला खिला रही थी। इतने में ही हाथी को गुस्सा आ जाता है। फिर क्या, आप खुद ही देखिए वीडियो में।
buddy.
Damn, I'm cringing.
oh, man, she's like, oh, he's so cool. Look how cool he is.
See, okay.
How many elephants are attacked globally?
I'm going to say B.
B. Here we go. 500. Oh, man. Okay, so now you got 4. You're in bad territory, but we got to see how this plays out.
Yeah. I already lost.
That's all right.
I'm gonna have to get this-
You know what? I feel like I've won. So
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
honestly,
The
I think
pressure.
next week we're all gonna win. So
That's right.
I'm looking forward to that. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah.
Let's go ahead and continue on here, Brawnz.
Yeah, let's do this.
Wolves.
Oh,
Wolves
man.
are typically fearful of humans and avoid people when all possible, but occasionally, due to rabies, fear, and even provocation by victims, wolves can attack. How many people are recorded globally killed by wolves?
I'll say, okay.
Hold on now. This is part of the process. There we go.
People are stupid.
People, yes, that's right. You heard it here, folks. First, you heard it here first. People are stupid.
I'm gonna say C.
250. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to throw the numbers off. We wanted to try to confuse you.
You
Yeah,
did.
about 10 fatalities per year.
Man.
Yeah. Well, think about it, right? How often do you see wolves, to be honest?
I think there's a lot of them.
Have you ever seen one?
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen an elephant in the wild either. Man, that's
But at least I've seen an elephant. Like,
yeah. I
I've
don't.
seen a zoo.
Yeah, I don't see wolves in the zoo. Yeah.
You don't see wolves in the zoo. You don't see them in the wilderness.
Oh man.
At least I don't.
10. Okay.
10. All right.
I should have went with when you said they're timid with the humans. I should have went with that. I should have went off of that clue.
It's a good clue. Pay
Yeah.
attention to the clues.
Yeah.
Use your logic. All right,
Yeah, I don't have
Spock.
any.
Here we go. Deadliest animal number 7. While wild tigers are found in different parts of Asia, the country of India holds about 70% of them. Let's take a look at this thing. It didn't even get provoked. This thing was, they were on the street, driving down the road on a motorcycle. And it thought like, oh yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Approximately how many people are recorded globally to have been killed by tigers?
I'll say C. 250.
250. 45. 45 each year.
Man, the videos kind of throws me off.
That's the whole point there, brother.
Oh man.
Man. All right.
Oh,
All right.
This is
Okay.
great.
All right. Here we go. Almost there. Almost there. Deer. Over 58,000 people are implicated in a deer-involved vehicle collision each year.
Yep.
There we go.
Never trust a wild animal.
Oh, What the heck?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Approximately how many people are recorded globally to have been killed by deer attacks yearly?
I'm gonna say A.
A. Man, you got this one right.
Yeah.
0 attacks by
Yeah.
deer. Oh man, I thought I had you with that one.
Yeah. Ooh. That was good.
Which is good news because that means that small child did not die.
Yeah.
So, however, about 500 people are killed annually from deer-related car accidents.
Yeah. That I can believe.
There it is.
I'm still
You
watching
know,
out for them.
You should, because they're not watching out for you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Deadly animal number 9, African Cape buffalo. I've never even heard of this damn thing.
Me neither.
These things are extremely large land animals and are extremely territorial. They've said to have killed more hunters than any other animal in Africa.
Okay.
What I like about this video is the music.
Oh.
Music is so relaxing as the man filming it stands idly by while another human being is being gored.
It looked like a donkey with horns.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I guess. Well, it looks more like the biggest damn bull I've ever seen with the biggest damn horns I've ever seen. But approximately how many people there? Brawnz?
I'm going to say, let's go with 400.
400. 200 deaths per year. I feel like that's a tough one.
Man, I'm telling you, that video threw me off because it's like it's in the like the urban areas. It makes it feel like it's more common than that number right there. And talking about hunters and
I think the problem is that what we define as urban here in the States is not necessarily urban, even though it looked urban-esque, not necessarily urban everywhere else in the world. But
oh man.
Oh, all right. So here we go. Last one, deadliest animal, number 10. Dogs. Man's best friend can also be a nightmare. Maulings and bites from rabid dogs are both to blame for dog-related deaths each year. Yeah, look at this guy. And everyone's standing idly by, laughing. Yeah, good old German Shepherd comes over, tries to save him. Yeah.
Dang, they think it's funny.
People are stupid.
Yeah.
Approximately how many people there? Brawnz.
Let's go with A.
A. 1,000. Here we go. 25,000 dog-related deaths each year.
I should have said that. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of dogs. And like what my logic was from the previous urban, there's dogs all over the place. Man, that's a high number though.
It's an extremely high number. And, I think it's kind of what I wanted to get to at the end of the show here, right? You take a look at bears and you think that bears probably have an extremely high number. The fact of the matter is, I don't even know why Brawnz wanted bears on the list because it wasn't on any other list for the world's deadliest animals. But think about it, folks. You have the bear. It's this big, I don't know, gruesome, scary looking thing, fangs, claws, hangs out in the wilderness. And you hear about folks getting attacked by them all the time. And then, of course, you have your loyal dog, right? Your buddy. You see all these movies growing up. You're getting all teary-eyed watching that movie. And Lassie dies, and it's so sad. But they're killing more than any other bear have ever on an annual. In fact, I feel like it's almost population control. However, I think the whole point of that is make sure you're doing your own research, folks. That includes anything in the crypto space because things aren't always what they seem. Brawnz, what about you? Any last words for these fine folks?
No, I need to heed those words, the wisdom that you instilled.
Boom. There it is.
Do
All
your own
right, there it is. Do your own research. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. We certainly appreciate you. Tune in next week where Brawnz does the One Ship Challenge. Man, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brawnz, don't worry about it. That
Okay.
chip's on me. I'll be
Okay.
Amazoning that over to you overnight. Have a great night, folks. We'll see you next time. Be right back.
Peace.